Hello Swirly Savages. Today I'm going to share a Scrap Your Scraps layout with you. So here I have just grabbed all the pieces of cardstock that I had remaining, the pattern paper, and just laid them out on the page. I have not cut them to any size at all. It's just whatever was on my desk. And then just start distressing all of the edges and adhering it to the background paper. That was the last piece of 12 by 12 paper I had left from the kit. So just putting all of these pieces on here. I'm trying to create a background here, and I'm looking for some texture. So that's why we're using all these little pieces and getting them distressed. The one thing I would have done beforehand, and if you're going to do this, I would suggest that you cover your background paper in clear gesso before starting this. That will prevent it from buckling. Okay, so now we're going to cover all these little bits of paper with the white gesso, and that's why the pattern did not matter at all. All we were doing was just creating a texture background. So white gesso and everything. Doesn't matter if you get some on the background paper, that's perfectly fine. A little bit messy is good. Then we're going to hit it with the heat gun just to get that to dry faster so we can move on to the next step. Next step, we're going to be grabbing some gelatos, and I chose 2 blues, and I'm going to mist in the tray, color in the tray with the gelato so I can get something there to pick up on the brush, and a second darker color of blue as well, and just brushing that directly onto our paper. Misting sometimes here just to get more of a watercolor effect. And then I'm adding a third color here and coloring directly onto the page this time, spraying with water and brushing that around. Adding some more blues, misting with water. We're doing this just to get the watercolor effect, and as you can see at this point I've got it on the background paper as well, and that's perfectly fine. And then continue misting with the water. What I was doing here is just hitting the edges that were too defined just to get more watercolor effect. Now I'm splattering with some black smooch, and then we're going to let that dry. Then I'm going to use some Color Bloom in soft teal and dry that. I want to add some more splats on here too. So I'm going to pick up the Heidi Swap Gold, and we're going to do some splats of the Heidi Swap Gold as well. Once we've gotten this dried, we're going to use archival black ink, and I'm using just a newsprint stamp just randomly on the page, as well as one of the Ingville Bohm butterfly stamps. Then I used a smaller archival ink pad and just inked the edges. I'm brushing it along the page as well. All of those distressed edges are going to pick up the black ink. And then this is the Prima Gold trim that I treated with the Verde that was included in the tech add-on. I believe this is the bronze with the Verde, and just random strips on the page just to create some more texture and interest. This wasn't pre-planned or anything, just adding it in randomly. Now I cut the rub-ons apart, and I'm using just pieces of the rub-ons on the page, and it doesn't even matter if the whole rub-on gets onto the page. That's okay. We're kind of doing a grungy look anyway, so if the entire rub-on doesn't make it to your page, do not worry about it. And then another one's going to be added on here, and again, like I said, it doesn't matter if it's rough in, that's fine. Okay, we're about done with the background here, so we can start figuring out what to do with our picture. Decided to add some bling, so I'm doing bling on here. These are some blue crystals, and I usually like to do these in 3, so you're making a triangle. Okay, grab some more strips I'm going to use for photo matting, and this is one of the pearl sprays that was included in the kit. I'm just going to leave that behind the picture there. I'm using some of the box to pop up my photo frame and to pop up my photo as well. So I definitely use everything in the kit, obviously. I'm even using the box. cheaper than Pop Dots. Okay, so now I'm adding some of the butterflies that were included in the Magnolia Lane collection. It was the die cut ephemera set. I didn't like on the smaller butterflies, it still had that pink, so I just fussy cut around that before I put those butterflies down. And now I'm going to start working on my flower cluster here. And I did some die cutting with some green cardstock that I had. Some of the vines here and also some of the Prima Forest leaves are going to be included. I would tell you that Spellbinder's Tool-in-One, that is awesome for getting the little bitty pieces out of your dies. And I do believe Chrissy has those on pre-order in her shop now if you would like to get one. Okay, now I'm just adding some, doing the door knocker here that was included in the kit. 3D gloss gel works perfect for that. It's going nowhere once it dries. I'm going to start working on the cluster here now. Roughing up the leaves, bending them up a little bit so they're not flat on the page. And there's the forest leaves we're tucking in. And I'm actually doing this flower cluster, if you notice, right on the picture. That was something I never would have done 4 or 5 years ago, but now I like to do that. It just makes the picture and the page just seem to go together better. And tucking in some leaves and flowers under the picture as well. That's for more interest. These are some more flowers included in the kit. They might have been in the flower add-on. And added some of these teal flowers there from a prior kit. I keep things on my desk from prior kits because they typically are going to go with the next kit as well. And then I tuck some more of the die cut flowers from the ephemera package in around the page, just for some more interest and texture, creating more layers. Added some more bling on here, and again I like to do the bling in threes, so you're making a triangle of some sort when you're doing the bling. And actually did some right on the paper or the photo as well. Now this is just a chipboard title that I had, and I'm just going to attach that with some 3D gloss gel. Not even going to treat that at all, just leaving it naked. I think it goes well with that page. And there we are, we're done. Thank you.